Welcome to Academy Answers Podcast, a show dedicated to inspiring and providing actionable advice on life, business, happiness, success, and reaching your full potential. Have you ever felt frustrated that life isn't working out the way you expected? Have you been searching for answers without success? You've come to the right place. Each week, we bring you perspectives, ideas, and actionable content. We share with you proven and time-tested step-by-step strategies to help you live the life you deserve and make your dreams a reality. From health to finances to relationships to business, we provide the insights and strategies you need to reach your full potential. So buckle up and plug in, because Academy Answers Podcast is about to take you to a new level of personal success.
Pleasant good morning, guys. Welcome to the Academy Answers Podcast. I try to not say morning, although I do it in the mornings. I don't know when you listen, because this is digital content and we are in different time zones. We are able to access it and listen to it at any time. So good day to you, good night to you, wherever you are in the world, whenever time you're listening to this. This may be years, this may be close to when it is recorded, this may be decades after it has been recorded, because that's the beauty of the age we live in. This is the Academy Answers Podcast. Thanks for joining us and thanks for listening in. And this is a podcast where we talk about happiness, success, and full potential. The idea that you are the architect of your own life. You have within you what it takes to create the life that you want to live. That will make you happy. That will deliver to you that emotional feeling that you most desire. So today I want to talk about the whole idea of stress and depression. And I remember back when I was in my 20s, I got to a lot of money very quickly. Came from humble beginnings. Walked 3 miles to school, 3 miles back home. Everything was pretty much farm-based, rural, third world country style. We use firewood for cooking. We use outside toilets for bathroom. There was no running water. You pretty much had to physically go to the public tank with your container, catch water. You come back for household use, for bathing, cooking, whatever, cleaning, everything. So there was no tap to turn on the water. There's no gas stove. There's none of these fancy things that you see now. There are 3 cars that pass in my little neck of the woods every week, and you didn't have to see them to know them. Once it was a Monday, you'd know that it was this car. Once a Tuesday, this would be the car. And it's a Friday, this is the car. And the only time there's a lot of vehicular traffic is when it's Christmas time and people who have visitors from overseas come to visit, and they came to visit, and they have rental cars and they're moving around a lot. So I'm saying that to tell you that I didn't grow up with much money, or pretty much. I grew up very poor, and I got to money early in my life. I stopped by the time I was 25, 26, 27, I'm making millions of dollars. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't understand money. I went to school. I did accounting. I started out knowing how to save. Love saving. Used to save money in my socks to buy my once a year toy, which is a water gun. And I just didn't know how to manage money. I thought I was on top of the world, and it's a danger with winning too early. And I'm not. This is not unique to me. I'm not special. If you listen to many other millionaires who have lived in earlier, humbler times than I did, like a Jim Rohn, many of these guys will tell you that they became a millionaire and lost it 2-3 times over. because it seems to be something with human beings who, where we have to, our backs have to be up against the wall. Like, we have to actually experience it to really get it. We have to be put into rough situations to actually learn the right thing to do. So after I started to make money, and then one year, I remember one year I lost $8 million, just like that. 2 businesses, all my cash, and I was flat broke. And at the time, I didn't know that what it was, but I went into depression. I lost my lease for life. I didn't have any positive outlook. And I just started to think that life didn't make sense. I just was out of it. And I was blaming everybody else, blaming everything else. The government who changed the import policy, the taxes, the system, all these stuff. Just finding something else to blame. I was dosing up on the news every night, and I was angry and bitter. And I was very stressed out. But one thing that redeemed me, that's for another conversation, but one thing that kept me going was my bias towards activity. I was always going after something. I kept moving. I kept hope. I never lost hope. I was kind of blaming and complaining and whining, but I kept trying to do something. I wasn't so deep that I couldn't function. So I kept moving. And it is what I want to bring your focus on when I talk about stress and depression. All this time, until recently, I was of the view that you are trying to zero your stress. You're trying to never get depressed. You're trying to not worry about anything. But I'll give you this analogy before I bring the point home to you, so you can get a clearer picture of what I'm saying. Let's say you're an athlete, or you're an entertainer, or any profession that demands a lot of you physically, and you are on the road as an entertainer, and you have 10 cities. Say you perform tonight, 1 hour, tired. So show finishes at 2:45, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So it's all fun, the euphoria is in the air, it's high, everybody's, happy about the performance. Some high-level friends in town, or you meet some people who are, interesting, and you're like, let's do the after party. So you do the after party. And that take you to 10 o'clock in the morning. You have a show tonight, but then you also have some radio interviews in the day, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock. You got to get to those. So you have breakfast, maybe take a little nap, and you fulfill your obligations to do your radio interviews, and it's time to go sound check and to do rehearsal for your show tonight. So you went to sound check, your rehearsals, time for the show, for the performance. You're tired. So you push through, you did the performance, you went to bed. You had to get up early because you have to catch a flight to go to the next city. Didn't get enough rest. And you're doing that for, let's say, for the 5 days. You're tired. And you're not stopping to get enough rest. And as a result, your body starts to respond. Your immune system is compromised. Your brain is foggy. You're not as coordinated. You're not doing as well. And you realize that, and you say, okay, I'm going to take this week off to rest, rejuvenate, hydrate, spend some time with family, do some light stuff, just to give my body some rest and to get going again. And in 2-3 weeks, you do the same thing over again. Maybe you push it a little more and you're really tired. And you take 2-3 days off and you get rest and you rejuvenate yourself. Nothing is wrong with that. You are tired. Nothing is wrong with being tired. You got the rest you wanted. After maybe not as early as you should, but you eventually get to rest. And you had maybe a whole 2, 3, 4 months of being on the road, tired, under pressure, putting your body through the rigors. But you pull back when you start to feel it in a real way, and you got the rest that you need. My opinion is that stress and pressure is the same thing. It is not a bad thing. It becomes bad if you don't back off, if you don't decompress, if you don't unwind, if you don't rejuvenate the mind and body, if you don't get that R&R, rest and relaxation as they call it, that you need. So my point is, as you're trying to get to your goals in life, as you're trying to become somebody, as you're trying to work your way to a certain level, and you're failing, you're trying new things, you're pushing out of your comfort zone, you're grinding, you're doing long hours, and things are not going so well sometimes, and you feel stressed out. Don't think in terms of trying to avoid stress, because every level, as they say, has its own devils. You're not going to just smooth sail through this thing. You're going to be tired, you're going to be stressed, you're going to fail, you're going to feel down, you're going to feel out of it. Nothing is wrong with that. Some people constantly try to avoid that. Can't bother to be stressed, I don't like stress, I can't deal with the stress. And they don't realize that it is a mode. Nothing is wrong with going into that mode. You're built to handle that. But the issue happens when you don't pull back, restore, rebuild, decompress, and get yourself ready to go again. Avoiding high pressure situations in your life is not going to get you to where you want to get to. And high pressure situations are stressful. There are two types of problems. There are problems that are associated with you staying stuck or going backward. And there are problems that are improvement problems, higher level problems, new problems. You cannot avoid problems in your life. Life, as a matter of nature, cycles and brings up its own devils. You don't have any control over all these things. It's going to do what it does. Whatever happens is going to happen. Sad, tough, whatever. We have no control over it. It baffles me sometimes. When I used to watch the news, as I mentioned before, I used to watch the news like 7 p.m. news, 8 p.m. news, and I'd dose up on that stuff before I go to bed. Every night, I couldn't miss it. Wherever I was glued in front of my TV. It's not only that I take the time to watch the news. Then I go tomorrow and I get into conversation with someone And I go hours talking about the news with my mom, with my girlfriend, everything, and we're talking about news. And we're criticizing, and we're talking, and we're doing politics. I used to even do a podcast on political stuff. And then a couple of years in, I realized that we're talking about the same things. We're going over the same problems. The news is the same. It happens over in this parish, then it's in that city, then it's in that country. It's just cycles. It's the same thing. The talk don't make it different. The news don't make it different. The worries don't make it different. Nothing changes. And this, when you think back, it has been the same level of catastrophes, same level of adversities, same levels of progress, same levels of doom and gloom, same levels of progress and fortune that make up life as you go. So the idea that you will get rid of stress and you get rid of problems, it will be all right, it's a pipe dream. Don't buy into it. Don't try to argue for it. Don't try to think it is something bad and it's something that is going to do any harm to you. It's not. You're not going to live your life without stress and pressures. There will be, either way, you're either going to be in pursuit of something that brings these pressures as a matter of the journey, or some other type of pressure will come to you as a matter of life that you have no control over. So you could say, okay, I'm doing my job. I'm going to do this course to improve my work, or to improve my marketability, or to increase my value to the marketplace, make more money. I'm being able to practice something I love, whatever it is. And you have to leave work in the evenings, go do it, handle your family, wake up in the morning, do research, work through your break time, work like burn the midnight oil, all that stuff. It's stressful, it's high pressure, it's frustrating. You decided to go on this path. Or you could be there, good, somebody, God forbid for you, get sick, a child, your wife, your mom, and here's some pressure in life. So we are built as human beings, and life brings pressure either way. But the golden thing to note, and I'll make this point and wrap it up for you, is that the stresses that come because you are trying to move yourself forward, to improve your life, are needed so that you can put yourself in the position when it comes on to resources and mindset to handle the stresses that come because you are just alive. Just automatic. Just have nothing to do with you. You have no control over. You never chose them. You never did anything. You just wake up and saw them. They just come upon you one day. So if you avoid the ones that you have to endure in pursuit of a better life, of progress, then the ones that are unavoidable will becomes much more heavier, will break you. So I know there's all this hoo-ha-ha about don't stress yourself over that. Why stressing this? Why this? Why that? All I would say is that don't stress over the stress. Don't stress over the stress. Rejuvenate, rest and relax, rebuild, refuel, go again. Because stress is a part of life, and it is a necessary part of progress if you are to handle the stresses that are inevitable, that you have no control over, that life brings you. Have a good day, guys. Always a pleasure. Thanks for listening.